Do you own a KTM 690? You know, the Enduro. Are you thinking about getting one? Well, if you are, guess what? These are the motorcycle parts you're definitely going to want to think about putting on your bike. Why? Because you're going to need them to get out so you can do the business. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rant and Ride.
Look what happened. I woke up in a big old pile of money. Hey, all you KTM guys, come on. I'm Team Warren. Don't think I'm coming down on you. I, on the other hand, and you on the other hand, and a lot of people on the other hand, why don't we have a 450? As a competitor, for a lot of bodies.
But here's my thinking.
Hello and welcome. 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Welcome to the Rant and Ride. Thanks for stopping in, being part of it. I appreciate everybody for all that you do. I just want to get that out before we get into the topic of this Friday. And don't forget the website. It's right down there. And go sign up. Go be part of it. Like I said, we got a giveaway coming in February. Probably got another couple of Rant and Rides. And then we're going to announce that what we're going to be, or the exact day that we're going to do the giveaway. And that's coming up real soon. So make sure you get in because you got to be in to win. That's kind of how it works. Hey, KTM bike right over there. You may catch it. Looks like a 500 EXC. Anyway, yeah, like I said, Rant and Ride, let's kind of jump right into it. KTM, you own one? You're thinking about getting one? I know you've seen mine, KTM, my 690. It's probably, you know, almost the unicorn for street / off-road enduro motorcycles. And they're, you know, they're not real easy to find, and guys that buy them hang on to them, because I know I'm going to hang on to mine for quite some time. But when you buy that bike, or if you're going to buy that bike, these are a lot of things you're probably going to, depending on your skill level and what you want to do. But if you're getting a 690, you're probably been riding for a while. This is not your first day at the office kind of bike. I mean, I would not suggest this to anybody that's only been riding for, you know, 6 months to a year. Unless you just really took to it like a fish to water. So, but anyway, probably one of the very first things, you know, when you're outfitting a bike, you want to think of the road. That's really kind of one of the big things. It's road than dirt, because you are going to have to do some road. And the KTM Windscreen, on screen, they're going to be photos. Remember, and all this stuff down in the description, if you want to pick it up, if you have a 690, you can buy it. And you can get it pretty cheap, pretty darn cheap. Because we've already done most of the research, and it's down there, and it helps the channel as well. But yeah, the KTM windscreen, that little windscreen right there, it doesn't look like it does a whole lot. Guess what? Works pretty good, and it works really good at highway speeds, and it's pretty easy to install, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, and it really does a good job at wind deflection. So that right there will help get a lot of that air off of your head and your body when you're traveling. And it's going to be really good. You really want to think about getting a windscreen for your KTM and any bike, really any bike, if you're planning on doing any type of adventure riding and getting out and doing it and getting out in the thick, you know. So that's what I would definitely pick one up. That's kind of one of the first things that I would want to get. And then the other things that I'd like to get, and these are all, you know, depending on who you are, you know, everybody's going to be a little different. But if you've seen my mirrors, my foldable mirrors, those are double takes. They're really cool. These are the Adventure series. They're not that much. They're double purpose because they are attached by ram mounts. So guess what? You can hook your phone to it. You can fold them in. You can hook a GPS to it. You can hook all different attachments. If it's a ram attachment, you can attach it to these mirrors, and they fold out of the way perfectly whenever you are basically out in the dirt or if you're off-road, so that way you can be riding that bike and they're not in your way. You don't have to worry about them breaking off. And even if you dump your bike, guess what? Not a big deal, because they'll just fold right out of the way. It's not a big deal. So those foldable mirrors, those double takes, very cool, inexpensive, and I think you can't go wrong by picking those up. And I'd put those on any bike. So the other thing, this is a luxury. Next item is the heated grips. I have heated grips, and like I said, the pictures are above. And like I said, if you have any comments, put it down below and let me know about it. And I'll go in and I'll try to give you the best information I can for any of this really neat stuff or cool stuff I have on my bike, on my 690. So, but the heated grips are nice. This is one of the only heated grips that I know of. I'll put it down in the description. I'm going to try to find the work order for what I got. KTM North Texas found these heated grips and put them on for me. And man, they work fantastic. They got a little push button on them. They're fused, wired to the battery, and they get pretty darn toasty. So if you're off-road and you're up in the altitude and you're riding, it's cold, man, it sure does a good job in your glove keeping those hands warm, because you definitely want your hands warm. If you're riding, you don't want those to go frozen numb, you know, it gets a little dangerous. So heated grips are another luxury, but they also make other heated grips that you can put under your grips, and they work pretty good too. So I've used those in the past as well, and so has Storymoto. He's used those in the past. He used them on his V-Strom, his DL650. The other thing that's really nice, and if you get a KTM 690, the CJ Designs fuel billet. That is a must, because the fuel billet that comes with the bike, the man that invented it should be literally, I don't know, just stonewalled. I mean, it's awful. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. Dirt and stuff falls in, but this CJ Design billet for the KTM 690 is awesome, because guess what? Bop, bop, it's raised up, and you can basically, you don't have to worry about the dirt and stuff when you're riding, when you're filling up and get stuff in there. So that's a real must. You really might want to look into that. If you have a 690, pick that up. It's not super cheap. They're the only ones that really make it. And but it's a must, man. Keeps dirt out of your tank, and it's going to save that fuel filter for sure. You definitely want to look into that. So I would definitely pick one of those CJs up and put it on my bike for sure, 100%. The other thing is if you're an off-road rider, or if you like to get out and you do ride a lot in, you know, the mountains and stuff like that, and you get caught after dark, off-road lights, man. My Commanders, I know you probably have seen them before, or you didn't know what they were, but those are Commanders. Those lights are so bright, they will literally light up a football field. They are super bright. They work very well. I got a little push button right over here. I click them on. They're hardwired in, and they do a fantastic job. They're really good. So, but down in the description, if you're looking for those, it's a link and everything where you can pick those up, and they work really well. So if you're traveling off-road, it's definitely something you want to look into. So that way, if you got to set up camp or anything like that, it's definitely a must. It's definitely a must. So I would definitely look into those and put those on any bike, not even just a KTM 690, any bike. And most of the stuff that I talk about, they make different flavors for different bikes. So it doesn't have to be just a KTM, but we're talking about the KTM. Steering dampener. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of my steering dampener. That steering dampener is awesome, man. I mean, it just works fantastic. It absorbs all the bumps, everything. It just does a really good job on basically even this road sucks, but you know what, it does a really good job on deflecting rocks and all that stuff, and it keeps your bike nice, straight and true, and it makes it safer. It really does. It makes it safer. Steering dampeners are great. And also if you ride in sand, so if you're out west and you're in Utah or Arizona and you get into some sand, it keeps that front tire true, man, because bikes get out of control pretty quick, and that's how you get yourself in a little bit of a pickle, and that's how you can dump your bike. So steering dampeners are definitely another thing you might want to look into, because it's really going to make your ride so enjoyable. This is my first one. I probably will never have a bike without a steering dampener ever again. My seat. I can't stress seats, man. Seat concepts, this is the gripper series, so as I get sweaty and I start sliding around, guess what? Not on this seat. This seat actually grips. I mean, you basically are hugged into that seat. It does a fantastic job. It's not real cheap, but compared to other seats, it does a really good job. So that seat concepts, the gripper, they have different styles, and you can pick those up. But compared to other custom seats, this one was only like 200 something bucks. Not a bad deal, man. And they make them for all different other bikes as well. So might want to look into that. The Tusk tailplate. The Tusk tailplate is awesome. That's what I have my military box attached to in the back, and then I have my extra gas, gallon of gas on that. And but that plate for the KTM, it bolts into the subframe, which is not really a subframe. It bolts into the kind of fake subframe of the KTM 690, but it does a really good job, and it's cheap. It's really cheap. It does a good job, has lots of attachments, and it will really work very well for you attaching river bags and anything else that you want to attach to it. And really a tailplate's kind of a must because it only comes with grab rails when you buy it, and this allows you to get more items on your KTM or any other bike. And they make that also for other bikes as well. And but Tusk is really good. Rocky Mountain ATV, they do a great job. But like I said, down in the description, we have it through our Amazon affiliate link, and you can get it for the same price, and you're helping the channel out. So we appreciate you. Footpegs, I cannot stress Footpegs, man. The KTM Rally Footpegs are awesome. I like these. I think they were about $130. I got them at KTM North Texas. That'll be down in the description too. You can call Todd or Bert over there. Those are the main guys, and they do a really, really good job. But these basic pegs are extra wide. So when you put your boot on there, it helps get you planted, and they're a little bit wider as well, like fat-wise, for your boot to kind of lock in. And it works really good, and it helps cut down on that fatigue when you got to stand up when you're off-road. So definitely want to look at Footpegs, because the Footpegs are really nice, man. And they got the big, you know, little teeth on them too. That was an oxymoron. They got big little teeth. But they do. They got nice big teeth on them, and they grip your boot perfectly. And then you got the skid plate, you know, your engine protector. Definitely got to have a skid plate. I've got the KTM Rally plate. It wasn't crazy. Definitely a must to protect the underside of that engine. The original that comes with it is plastic. It's pretty much garbage. I would never ever ride on a trip with that. But that skid plate, definitely from KTM, they made a good one. It's aluminum, it's tested, and it's the Rally Edition, and it does a really, really fantastic job. And it keeps the weight down on your 690, because that's what you bought it for. As far as what the bike is, it is probably the lightest for the amount of power and what the bike can do. The KTM 690, it's just it's super hard to sit there and compare, you know, apples to oranges to other bikes. You get other guys that will talk about other bikes, but this bike here is nothing but unadulterated. It's all business. Okay. The Fender Eraser, the fender that came with the KTM, I did not care for it, so I talked to Todd over there at KTM North Texas, and what he did is he put a Fender Eraser on there and put LED blinkers on the back and an LED brake light, and it took everything off, so it didn't have that big hoopy dip. So if you own a KTM, you've seen it. It's really dumb. And I'll try to find out which one it was, but it came off an actual KTM, another version bike, because most of the stuff's universal. And it works great, man. So if you ever have to jump your bike or anything like that, you don't worry about ripping off that rear end fender. So it's very nice, very cool. One thing, the brake lever on the KTM 690 is another one of those stupid things. It's pretty chintzy. It does a good job for what it is, but if you don't upgrade that, which brake levers can run you about $100 to $200 depending on which one you want to buy, guess what? They make a carbon fiber protector for that. And I've got it on mine. You can see the pictures right there. I think it's only like $80 or something like that. It's not bad. I don't remember what it costs, but it does a good job, and it protects the other side of the motor on the throttle side. And that's kind of a big fear. So if you ever dump your bike, you do not want that brake lever to go into the side of the engine and then dump oil and then leave you stranded. So you definitely want to get some kind of protection there. Definitely want to do that. And probably the last thing that I would get into, Rad Guard, definitely get a Radiator Guard. I don't put any cages or any, you know, crash guards on my KTM. I bought this bike to keep it light, keep it tight, do it right. That is my saying, and that's what I got it for. I like it light, man. This bike is all about business, man, getting out and doing it. So definitely a KTM Rad Guard. It is a metal Rad Guard that basically shears off rocks, and it protects it if you lay your bike down, okay? So that way you don't crush your radiator, and it does a fantastic job. And I'll have pictures of that down below. And like I said, all these things you definitely want to look into, because you want them on your bike. You don't need all of them. You don't need all of them, but you definitely want to look into them and pick the ones that you think that you want, because there's a lot of these. If you really get out and you do the business, like I said, do the business. A lot of these, they're creature comforts, but they also work. They do a great job. So anyway, those are all of my favorites, and that's actually on my bike, and it's not too crazy expensive, and you can put all these on yourself. And you just, where there's a will, there's a way. You just got to want to do it. So everything's down below in the description. Give us a thumbs up if you like everything. And we appreciate your time. And thanks for stopping in on Friday, man, and talking about the KTM 690 and all the cool things that I put on my bike. And tell me about the cool things that are on your bike. Put it down in the description. Let me know of all the wicked cool stuff that you have on your bike, so whenever you do your trips, it helps you out. So, but anyway, Joe, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Don't forget to sign up. Don't forget to get in to win. February, we got a giveaway, and decals are going out in February for everybody that signed up for the decals. We appreciate your time. We love you at 690, and thanks for being part of it. And together, we will all figure it out and be part of a bigger community. So thanks so much. You guys have a great weekend. I appreciate you. 690 out.